Fast and the Furious is a franchise that I never got to experience as a kid, and as I grew up, I always felt like it was something that I was missing out on. So I thought, what better way to fix that than to watch them all in a day. So for the next 24 hours, I will not sleep, I will not eat, I will not even drop a deuce. There will only be the Fast and the Furious. It is now 11 a.m. and we just finished the first movie, and I'm not gonna lie, that was kind of good. This movie is ridiculous. The story is so wishy-washy. It doesn't even really exist. But don't worry about that. Don't worry about the story. All that really matters are the coronas and the vibes, because that's what really carries this. You just feel good watching this. It's goofy, it's slightly over the top, and from everything that I've heard of how insane these movies get, this one is pretty tame. Like, the craziest thing that happens is this guy drives his car under a truck. Like, that's really it. The thing I can give this movie credit for is that it has a personality. It feels unique, and I like that a lot. It doesn't really make all that much sense as to what's really going on. I mean, there's a race here and a race there, but none of it really matters because it's all about the vibes. If you feel good, the movie's good. Overall, it's not that bad. As far as action movies go, it's a solid 5 out of 10, and I'm feeling good though. So far, my sanity is still intact. I don't really feel tired at all. I'm looking ahead and I'm like, okay, this is just this movie a bunch more times. I mean, I don't think they're gonna get that much crazier, so, you know, I'm feeling pretty good about my chances. So that's it for now. I'll check back in after the second movie. Next up is Too Fast, Too Furious. It is now 1 p.m. The second movie is finishing up as we speak, and I feel amazing. I think I've gained like 20 man points, maybe 30 since starting this video. And movie 2 is even more ridiculous than the first. More cars, more racing, more oomph, more man stuff. Take everything from the first movie and turn it up to 11. Everything is a bit more polished, a bit more insane. It's just better. And the story is... once again, don't worry about the story. Story what? Am I right? It's really just a framework for dumb, over-the-top action, and I love it. Show me more cars. Show me more racing. Show me more goofy villains. Because honestly, this felt more like a movie. A dumb one, but a movie nonetheless. And I am genuinely excited to see what comes next. I don't know if I'm just mentally 13, but these movies are doing something to me. I feel alive. Like, this is what I've been missing out on all my life. This is like a 5 out of 10 as far as any real movie goes, and we are already beginning to go down the more absurd road. That's all for now. Next up is movie 3, Tokyo Drift. I'll check back in when that's over. The time is now 3 p.m. and I still feel pretty good. 3 movies down, a lot more to go, but I don't care. I'm finishing this challenge no matter what. Now, I will say Tokyo Drift is not as good as the first 2. Don't get me wrong, it is still wacky and goofy, but it tries to be serious at the same time, and I know that sounds like a good thing, but the first 2 were just so goofy, I couldn't take those seriously, so when they tried this switch up, it's kind of like, whoa, what's going on? No, a lot has changed since the second movie. We have a new protagonist, Sean. We're in Tokyo, we're drifting now, and it kind of caught me off guard, like, where's Paul Walker? Now, Sean is borderline unbearable. I don't know if it's the accent or that he's playing a 17-year-old when he looks 34, but besides that, I'm still sort of feeling this. Visually, the franchise is improving, the effects look better, the racing looks better, and they even made an attempt at giving the film some sort of emotional weight. It didn't work, but at least they tried, and that's what matters. The plot, once again, is held together with tape. Nothing really makes all that much sense. You're supposed to just enjoy the racing, but the vibes don't really hold this one together as much. I wasn't really with this one, and that's probably because of Sean. He's kind of lame, but it's whatever. I don't care. By this point, 3 movies in, I thought I'd be tired of this video, this challenge, but I'm not. This is kind of fun. Anyways, Tokyo Drift is like a 4 out of 10. This is the first downgrade so far. No The Rock, no Paul Walker. This feels almost like an oddball for the series. It doesn't really fit with the rest, but I am still excited for the next one, simply called Fast and Furious. No more the. The time is currently 5:14. The birds are still chirping, but I am not. I think I've hit my limit of how much I can genuinely handle for one day. All I gotta say is the next few are gonna be rough. My head is starting to hurt. I can't really hear out of my right eye anymore. My feet are beginning to go numb. It's all going, but I'm gonna power through. We just finished number 4, and I fully accepted how absurd these movies are. There is no going back now. Dom Toretto is not human. I've also accepted that. Are you really gonna tell me the guy that held an engine block with one hand, or the guy that ate a bullet like it was nothing, is human? The street racing element of the previous movies is more or less gone. This whole film was basically a revenge story. The plot, It isn't there. But hey, look, fast cars. This series has a habit of trying to one-up itself at the beginning of every new movie. Like the opening here tops all of the past 3 combined. It's like the series is terrified of being small scale, so they have to keep upping the ante, and I'm here for it. Show me more crazy nonsense. I don't really have all that much else to say. I didn't get that much out of 4. I feel as though the series doesn't have a concrete cast yet, and every movie is just a mishmash of past characters, or completely new characters. Like Dom has really only been in 2 movies, and Paul Walker has been in 3, but then there was the 3rd movie where there was a completely different protagonist, so I don't really know what's going on. Like, when you really think about it, there is no main character, but I don't think we should be getting too deep into these action movies. We're gonna be here for hours, and I can't do that. Okay, that's it. The next one. What's the next one? It is currently 8 p.m. or around 8 p.m. I don't know. It's dark outside, and I just finished Fast 5. I have so much adrenaline in me right now. I could fight a horse. But before I do that, let me tell you guys about today. Since the start, I have been waiting. And waiting, and I waited 4 whole movies for The Rock to finally show up. And trust me, they delivered. Fast 5 is amazing. When I think action movie, this is what I'm gonna think of from now on. It has everything, from The Rock, purred happily, to Vin Diesel using his car to fight other cars. You know how I've been saying that the past movies have no plot and are all based on vibes? Well, you know what's better than that? A really good plot and also really good vibes. It has both. Out of the 4 movies that have come before it, this trumps all of them. This series has really found their footing. They know what they're doing now. Alongside that, every single character has literal superpowers. Also, I've noticed something sort of interesting. There are 2 halves to these movies. Cars, and them actually being really good. You see, they've done the Street Racer movies, and honestly, they don't make for the best story. And even worse is that they can't fill 10 movies just based on Street Racer stories, because, you know, it's kind of the same thing. So this is where you have to sort of drop the Street Racer format and simply include cars into other formats. Like, for instance, a heist movie. And this is what that is, a heist movie with cars. And it really works. It makes for a really good movie. Oh, and apparently Han is back. But didn't he die in Tokyo Drift? Well, that's what I thought at least. And after some deep investigation, I googled it. Apparently Tokyo Drift takes place between movies 6 and 7? Why? Why make 2 movies that flow together and then make one that takes place like 7 years later and then go back to the original story? It's just a really weird way of structuring a franchise. Anyways, Fast 5 is like an 8 out of 10. Best one yet. Okay, next one. Go. The time is 11:39. The birds have not chirped for hours, and I am really starting to feel it now. The sun is down. It's been down for a while now. I'm kind of incredibly tired. Who knew watching 6 movies would be so tiring? But we just finished Fast 6. And if you can believe it, it's also really good. You know how I said the last one felt like an action movie? Well, this one feels like it even more, to the point where it is unrecognizable as to what these movies used to be. I was watching a completely different series in the morning. Remember that? The morning? I sure don't. I remember watching a simple movie based on vibes. Now this franchise has morphed into something completely different. These are action movies. The vibes are the action. The cars themselves used to be the focal point. Oh, look how cool my car is. Oh, look at my car. And that's kind of gone. The personality of the cars is gone. The vibes of the cars are gone, and I kind of miss it, even if it was just this morning, but that's all besides the point. I really don't know how I'm gonna get through this next bit. We have 4 movies left. That's around 8 hours left of this challenge, this task, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I just want to be able, I want to finish this. I've committed so much time to this that I cannot quit now. So next up is Fast 7. Okay, the time is now 2 a.m., I think. Is it? I don't know. It's late. I'm fighting the urge to fall asleep as we speak. Fast 7 just finished up, and it was sad. Honestly, this is where the series should have ended. There's the Charlie Puth song, there's the montage, all the storylines are wrapped up. This is so wholesome. I don't know why we needed more movies. Not only for the sake of the franchise, but for me. I want this to end. I want to sleep. Is that too much to ask for? I will say though, the insane cuts during the action scenes do help a little with staying up, because at a certain point it is just colors flashing on the screen, and there's no way you're falling asleep to that. You already know the movie is more insane than the last. That's like a given at this point. We are jumping cars through skyscrapers. Ronda Rousey shows up. So does Iggy Azalea. That was kind of weird. Also, everybody knows how to fight now and is good at it. Even Ludacris, who knows how to fight, and he's like the nerd of the group. That's definitely weird. Overall, this wasn't as good of a film as 5 or 6. It's a lot messier, but there's a lot more going on. We got the nobody dude, we got Shaw, whatever his name is. We've entered a new stage of the franchise. We have like cyber warfare now. Anyways, this is a solid, what am I, 6.5? Oh, I don't know how much longer I can do this. 6.5 out of 10. Next one, how many more with 3? Is it 3? God, let this be over. Okay, this is a lot harder than I thought I was gonna. I thought this was gonna be a walk in the park. Oh, easy 10 movies one day. Ha ha ha. You know, the math checks out. I think I'm gonna check out before the math does. Oh, I can't do this anymore. Okay, next movie, go. It is currently 4 a.m. Remember when this was about street racing? Just some guys racing their cars on the road. Yeah, me too. Fate of the Furious is like I don't even know. What's a good score? Like, it's a 6. I don't know. I don't know anymore. Guys, I have bad news. The time is 10:53 a.m. The sun is out, the birds are once again chirping, and I have still not finished this video. I have failed myself. I failed you. I was halfway through Hobbs and Shaw and my body betrayed me. I couldn't keep going. I was too fast and too furious. Do I even watch F9? Is that something I do? If you think you can do better or you can beat me, no you can't. I don't even know if I'm gonna make a segment for the last movie. I can already tell you what happens, right? It's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be absurd, it's gonna be stupid, over the top, it's gonna be a 6 out of 10. I already know this. You wanna know why? Because I watched all of the other movies in a day. I can see the future. I've unlocked this ability. Okay, that's enough for today. Goodbye.